Wasaga Beach, or simply Wasaga, is a town in Simcoe County, Ontario, Canada, situated along the longest freshwater beach in the world, for it is a popular summer tourist destination. It is located along the southern end of Georgian Bay, approximately 150 kilometers, 93 miles north of Toronto, and about 40 kilometers, 25 miles northwest of Barrie. To the west, Collingwood and the Blue Mountains also attract visitors much of the year. The town is situated along a very long sandy beach 5 on Wasaga Bay in Georgian Bay and the winding Wasaga River. The beaches are part of the Wasaga Beach Provincial Park. The park area totals 168 hectares for 115 acres. 6. Wasaga Beach has a year-round population of 24,862 as of 2021. But during the summer months, the population increases with many. The economy has struggled for some years, particularly since a major fire in late November 2007 destroyed many of the stores. It depends on tourists in an area where the primary shopping season is 3 to 4 months per year. 7. In March 2017, the town passed its Downtown Development Master Plan, a 20-year strategy for significant redevelopment of the tourist area and adding a downtown to the business area. The goal is to improve tourism, diversify the economy, and get beyond its party town image. 8. During the 1900s, families began to discover the beauty of the area. The beach gradually became a place for family picnics and holidays during the summer months, and the first cottages were built. In 1909, a new steel bridge was constructed to replace the Van Vleck Bridge. 13. Wasaga Beach had its beginning as a major resort area when the first beachfront hotel, the Capstan Inn, was opened in 1915 by entrepreneur John McLean in what would later develop into the present beach. One area. In 1918, he opened the Dardanella Dance Hall, and over the next several decades more hotels, venues, and amusements would open. 14. During the 1940s, servicemen stationed at Base Borden, a nearby military base, visited Wasaga Beach's amusement park named Playland, and they made Wasaga Beach known across the country. After the war, Wasaga Beach continued to be a popular place for cottagers and day trippers. However, most of the attractions would subsequently close down, with Playland ceasing operations in 1985. 15. To water parks, both named Waterworld, opened that year, but were closed in the mid-2000s due to multiple cost issues, with the location at Beach 1 converted into a splash pad. 16. Wasaga Beach entered histories. Headlines in 1934. It was the site of departure for the first overseas flight from mainland Canada across the Atlantic to England. A plane, named Trail of the Caribou, used the beach as a makeshift runway. 17. The town was originally referred to as the northern border of Flo's Sunnydale and Wasaga townships. The first municipal reference occurred with a designation of a local improvement district in 1947. In 1949, Wasaga Beach was classified as a police village in the township of Sunnydale and was incorporated as a village in 1951. In 1959, the beach was designated as a Crown Beach, which was the precursor to the establishment of Wasaga Beach Provincial Park. The province began expropriating beachfront properties to create a continuous belt of parkland along the full length of the beach, save for keeping part of the main beach area for commercial uses. This proved controversial, so the province scaled down plans and settled for separated parks, which are today's beach areas, to 2-6. Driving and parking on the beach was previously permitted and popular, but in 1973, the province took cars off the beach. 18. However, a paved beachfront street, Beach Drive, was constructed along Beach 1 shortly thereafter. Wasaga Beach was incorporated as a town on January 1, 1974, and its boundaries were expanded. The permanent population stood at 4,034, a dramatic increase from 1965, when 500 people were residents. Today, the town has 24,860 full-time residents and 16,000 seasonal and part-time residents. 9. Historic automobiles parked on the beach. 1925 Wasaga Beach and the surrounding area was inhabited by the Huron-Wendat Nation for centuries before they were conquered and driven from their ancestral lands in 1649 by the Iroquois Haudenosaunee, known as the Five Nation Iroquois Confederacy. Wasaga is a contraction of the Algonquin word Nottawasaga. Nottawa means Iroquois and Saga means mouth of the river. The word Nottawasaga was used by Algonquin scouts as a warning if they saw Iroquois raiding parties approaching their villages. 9. In 1812, the United States declared war on Great Britain and invaded Upper Canada on several occasions. Wasaga Beach became a strategic location at the mouth of the Nottawasaga River leading to Fort Willow and the 9-mile portage, which was part of the supply line for British forces in the War of 1812 to Fort Michilimackinac and points to the north and west. 10. The Royal Navy schooner HMS Nancy was scuttled in the Nottawasaga River to prevent the Americans from capturing her and her stores. 11. Lumbering was the main industry for the remainder of the 19th century. Logs were floated downriver and into the bay, gathered at ports to feed local sawmills. 9. Because Wasaga Beach had sandy soil unsuitable for cultivation, it did not attract early European settlement. In the 1820s, the first sign of settlement in the area began as John Gosman surveyed Flows Township. In 1826, land was being sold for 4 shillings an acre. Though unsuitable for farming, the Wasaga Beach area had an abundance of trees. In the late 1830s and throughout the rest of the century, the logging industry was key to the economy and integral to development of the area. 12. The first permanent settler was John Van Vleck, who arrived in 1869 and founded a settlement on the south side of the Nottawasaga River near its mouth and named it after himself. In 1872, a wooden bridge, the Van Vleck Bridge, was constructed east of the present Main Street Bridge to provide access to the beach, then used mainly as a road. The name Wasaga Beach was first used in the area in the late 19th century. 9. 2007 Beach 1 fire aftermath of the Beach 1 firing on November 30th, 2007. A major fire destroyed 90% of the buildings along the street mall in the Beach 1 area. About 17 seasonal businesses were said to have been affected, including bikini shops, ice cream parlors, a restaurant, a motel, and an arcade. 19. Nearly 100 firefighters from surrounding areas battled the blaze for hours. The Toronto Star later reported that 21 businesses in 8 buildings overlooking Georgian Bay were destroyed, causing an estimated $5 million in damages. 20. Controversy also rose over whether or not the fire was deliberately set in order to allow unobstructed progression with the planned development, or whether it was simply an accident. 2 young men, one from Barrie and the other from Springwater, were charged with arson, although there was no evidence that the fire was deliberately set to remove the old buildings in advance of plan. Development. 20. The town of Wasaga Beach worked out a plan to help the remaining businesses open for the season, but plans for hotels, a theme park, and a monorail were canceled and never revived. 21. Local government towns council includes a mayor, deputy mayor, and 5 councilors that are elected at large. The members of council, elected as of the 2022 municipal election, are 22 mayor, Brian Smith deputy mayor, Tanya Snell councilors, Joe Belanger, Sasha Rose Dilofe, Ego Ellen Timms, Rickard White. The beach is owned and operated by Ontario Parks as the Wasaga Beach Provincial Park, and it is the area's primary attraction. Of the 6 main beach areas 1 and 2 and the adjacent private, public lands have historically functioned as the main destination for tourism activity. Due to the economic climate, losses due to fires, and recent failed private redevelopment plans, beach areas 1 and 2 have been in steady decline. This area is so important to the town that it undertook an in-depth community visioning exercise called Opportunity Wasaga to develop a long-term vision for the future of the public and private lands in this area. 3031, there has been a great deal of controversy among the public and council members about the previous strategies used by the town of Wasaga Beach, including the 2015 purchase of the 7 properties for $13.8 million using borrowed money. That's no small sum for the town of 18,000 that will collect $20.3 million in property taxes this year and spend $48 million in operating and capital costs, according to a report by the Toronto Star. 32. Economic challenge Main Street Mall as it appeared in August 2000. Fire destroyed most of the buildings in November 2007. Despite the major fire, the beach and the remaining businesses reopened the following summer. Although the destroyed buildings had been considered dated, they were missed by residents and visitors. 2324. In 2008, an entertainment dome was built, intended as a temporary structure until development started. It lasted until February 2011, when the exterior cover was destroyed during a storm. Repairs were not done and the dome never reopened. The structure was removed in May 2012. 25. The long-term plans after the fire by Armand and Dovlevy's Blue Beach Avenue Corporation included a rebuild of the area in a modern style with shopping and the aforementioned indoor-outdoor theme park to major hotels and monorail. The proposed development came to an abrupt end when Blue Beach Avenue declared bankruptcy in 2010. The past couple of years haven't been kind to the tourist industry, so I gather there were some major cash shortfalls that put them in this situation, the town's mayor said at that time. 26. Armand Levy was subsequently charged with fraud in 2012 after an investigation of misappropriation of the insurance money paid out after the 2007 fire, but was ultimately acquitted. 27. 28. Reduced tourism, partly because of the loss of many retail buildings, has continued to be a problem in the area. The majority of sales take place during the tourist season, which is typically not much longer than 3 months per year. The most recent stats indicate a decline in tourism of roughly 100,000 a year between 2002 and 2012. To step up development, in 2015 the town spent $13.5 million to purchase 7 properties, including 8 buildings and 28 rental units along Beach Area 1, becoming a landlord to some businesses, including 3 bars. The town acquired any existing leases from tenants and succeeded in leasing most of the empty space to commercial enterprises by July 2016. 29. A few of the tenants subsequently inquired about the possibility of breaking their leases because they were struggling financially. The town council agreed to a one-time opportunity for businesses to break their leases without a penalty. Requests to do so had to be submitted no later than September 23, 2016.